Transcending Opiophobia in Chronic Pain, Byron's Story. This letter is dedicated to Byron, the first graduate of my multidisciplinary functional restoration program. The FRP today is the gold standard for evidence-based treatment of chronic spine pain and is endorsed by most specialty society pain guidelines. But in 1991, my program was the new kid on the block. The program immersed a group of 4 pain patients in an 8-hour-per-day program combining physical therapy, occupational therapy, and psychological therapy. I offered trigger point injections instead of adding pain medications. Patients received epidural blocks to soothe inflammation and soldier on. Patients with pain flare-ups sat in the spa instead of going home to bed. Byron worked through his intense anger with a psychologist and found ways around his stinking thinking. On many days, I would put away my prescription pad and take the group to the gym for my special brand of physical therapy. At the end of the 3-week program, graduates would receive a certificate and spine-shaped keychain. Many say that FRP saved their lives. Some went off opioids. A few even returned to work. 25 years later, I still see many of my graduates. They all say that FRP was the turning point in their mastery over their pain. However, many of those graduates still require opioids to this day, because the truth of the matter is that opioids are a necessary and vital part of long-term pain control, even in those who have received the very best non-opioid care by pain specialists. Those who say otherwise have not experienced a patient of theirs commit suicide. I have, and more than I would care to mention. No amount of sanctimony or arrogance by addiction specialists will convince me to allow another suffering patient to do that. Today's young whippersnapper anti-opioid zealots should be shipped off to some island off the coast of South America where they cannot do our country any more harm. Ignorance and greed are a nasty combination. Yes, the FRP was worth its weight in gold to those patients, Byron included. But the insurance companies did not cover the FRP. Most still don't. And the fact of the matter is that the very best non-opioid treatments are still not covered. We closed our program after 9 years and many hundreds of successes because we could not make ends meet. Following the closure, I was forced to help my pain patients with the only tools I had left, mainly short-acting opioids, trigger point injections, epidural blocks, physical therapy, and chiropractic. Some got spine surgery. A majority still required some opioids. Byron convinced me to write a book in 1991, and he came up with the title, How to End Your Back Pain Nightmare. I was not a writer, but Byron had a newspaper reporter background. Byron reworked my prose into a masterpiece, and he rewrote it from the perspective of a pain patient. He wrote his own chapter, the epilogue, now required reading for all pain patients. Byron and I wanted to change the world, to shout from the rooftops that chronic pain could be tamed with the FRP, and we wanted to tame an unjust workers' compensation system as well. Byron passed away in 1995. Today, the injustices are being dealt to our entire country's chronic pain patients through unfair restrictions of necessary opioid pain relievers. I wrote the 2 physician primers for doctors to help end the opioid crisis. I wrote the Pain Patient Handbook for Byron. Rest in peace, my friend. www.thephysicianprimer.com